So let's go back into VS Code over here. And for VS Code, we're going to go into, we're going to fix up some stuff inside of API Gateway, and we're going to add something into users service. So inside of users service here for the route, we're going to add in a route in order to delete a session. So this one we're going to do above here, above .get here, do app.delete, and basically the same path here. So instead of getting a session, we are going to delete it. So async request res and next like that. Try const user session is equal to await user session dot find by pk request dot params dot session id. And actually it's the exact same part as this part down here. So we actually just grab that, do this here, and we're going to do await user session dot destroy. So we're going to delete the session entirely and then return res dot end. So we're going to end it there. And then if we get any sort of error, we're going to return that error inside of next, like so. So now we have app.delete set up. This is how you delete a session, relatively simple, but we're going to have to write the accompanying code inside of API Gateway. So inside of GraphQL here, let's go back into type defs. And we're going to add in a mutation, which is going to be delete user session. And this one's going to take in a session ID, ID like so. And we're going to do Boolean, so ID and then Boolean like that. So it actually returns true or false. Delete user session. We're going to add that inside of resolvers, mutation, new file, create this file here, delete user session.js, and we're going to export default that inside of here as well. So for delete user session, I mean, at this point, it's pretty much the same format as the rest of these. So let's just grab this one here. Instead of create user session, this one's going to be delete user session. And instead of taking in email and password, it just takes in a session ID. So we do delete user session with the given session ID. And then instead of setting the cookie, we're going to get rid of the cookie. So we do a context.res.clear cookie user session ID, simply like that. And we, instead of returning user session, we return true. So we can't do that as well. So we just do delete user session like so. And then inside of user service, let's add in the delete user session method. So underneath create user session, let's do static async delete user session. And this one here takes in a session ID and something like that. And then let's just do, for example, const body equals await.delete. And then we're actually going to return the data, even though it's pretty much useless at this point. But anyways, sessions, and then just do session ID like that, and then do .json, so we get rid of it, and we return the body. So this is just for deleting the user session. And then this one is hooked up, and this one here should be working. So now if we go into the playground here, let's have a look at the current session, which is 9CF16944, and that one is here. So now if we actually grab this ID here and we try to do a mutation, so mutation, delete user session. So maybe refresh, we should have access to it. Yep, sweet. Okay, so session ID here, and we pass in that session ID, and let's just see, because this one gives us a Boolean, we can't really put any curly braces or anything. Let's just click play and see if that works. So now we have deleted is true. If we go back here to cookies, you see that the cookie is gone. And if we go here, we're logged out again. So now this is working just fine, which is really cool. So now we have delete user session set up. Let's go into our classifieds app. Let's go into account over here. And inside of account, we're going to add in the functionality to actually log the user out. So here we're going to add an import use mutation from Apollo React hooks again. So at Apollo React hooks. And then we're going to add GQL from GraphQL tag. And then with these two here, we're going to do const mutation is equal to GQL. And we're going to do mutation here. Basically copy this one here is fine. So something like that. But we're going to take in a session ID argument here. So session ID is going to be an ID. And this one is going to just be session ID like that. So now we have a mutation. We go here and we do const square brackets delete user session is equal to use mutation and the mutation like that. So we have the mutation here, and underneath email, we're going to have what I'm going to call a logout link. So here we're going to do const logout link is equal to style.a.attributes and then href, just a hash like that. Do something like this. The color is blue, display is block, and margin top is 0.25 rem. So now here underneath the email, we're going to do logout link, and then on click is equal to EVT. EVT.prevent default, so we're going to prevent it from creating a hash basically, and then we're going to do dispatch clear session, so we're going to add this in just a second, and then delete user session. And the variables for the session ID, we're going to take session.id like that. And now you'll notice that we didn't use async on this or await for it or anything. And the reason for that is because we really don't care when the user session gets deleted. We've already done a clear session, which quote unquote logs the user out from their point of view. But then delete user session is just the server side thing, but we don't really care on regarding when that actually completes. So we do something like this, and we just do like logout link like that. And then now let's add in the dispatch. So we want to go here, we have use select already. Let's add in a use dispatch, and we're also going to get clear session. So import curly braces clear session from hash root store ducks and session like that. So we get the clear session function here, and that's what we're going to use here. Const dispatch is equal to use dispatch like so, and then we're going to dispatch clear session and then delete the user session like that. So now this should actually be working just fine. So if we go into classifieds app, we're currently not logged in. We don't have a way to log in as of yet, but we can first create a user session and then do that. So we've got over here the email and the password, so we create a new session, and that should get us logged in. We refresh over here and we're logged in, and now if we click log out, that should log us out, and then over here it should be gone as well. So now our logout works correctly, but our login isn't actually properly hooked up. So now we're going to go into login again, and you'll notice that over here we're just console logging the results, but instead of just console logging it, what we're going to do is we're going to actually, instead of just doing result, let's just destructure it straight away to get data and get a create user session, which is the name here. So you get that the same name here. I want to call this one a created session or something like that. And instead of just console logging it, we're going to do dispatch set session, and we're going to do created session. So very similar to the other file. We just need to go here and add in import use dispatch from React Redux. And we're going to do import curly braces, and then we're going to add in, what was it called? Set session from hash root store, and then ducks session like that. So this is for setting the session, and that code there should be working just fine. Well, we need to add in our dispatch as well. So const dispatch is equal to use dispatch like that. So now we can save, we can refresh, and you see we're currently not logged in. But if we do test1@example.com with password and we click log in, then it should log us in. And then now we refresh, we're still logged in, we click log out, and that logs us out. We can try a different user if we have one. So we have test2 as well. Test2@example.com and password logs us in as test2, and then we can click log out to log us back out. So that's working just fine. It's working really, really well. So now we have the ability to log in, we have the ability to log out, but we don't currently have the ability to sign up. Now, in terms of signing up, we already hooked up pretty much all of the backend. So we have create user, all of that built. All we have to do is add in a sign up component. So the way it's going to work is inside of login here, underneath the login button, we're going to add in a component called or sign up. So this is going to be essentially an option that you can choose instead of logging in, is to first sign up. So we do or sign up here, and then we just write or, and then ahref equals hash, on click equals curly braces EVT, and let's just first do EVT.prevent default, nothing too fancy, and let's just write sign up there like so. So now for or sign up here, this one's pretty simple, just const or sign up is equal to styled.span or something like that, and then we're going to do font size 0.9 rem. So we're going to do that. This is or sign up, and we are going to check out that link over there, and it's working just fine. So now we just need a space between this one and that one there, so just a space there. So now we have that space there, which looks pretty cool. It looks just fine, but now we need to get this one working. So in order to get the sign up link working, let's go into account details, and we're going to actually use this as a switch. So we're going to go here for React and just add in a use state there, and we're going to do const is signing up, set is signing up is equal to use state and currently false. So it's currently not signing up, but then down here basically we do if is signing up, then we return the sign up component, and then otherwise we return the login component. So right click new file, sign up.js. So something like that, right click new file again, index.js, and we include that here as well. So now instead of just including login here, we're going to also obviously include sign up. So now we have a sign up and a login, but we have no way of setting is signing up to be true. So inside of login here, we're actually going to add on change to sign up as a custom event. And this one's going to be set is signing up is going to be true. So let's actually wrap this in another curly brace so it becomes just a tad more readable. So set is signing up is going to be true. And then inside of login here, we're going to pass in a prop. So curly braces and this one is called onChange to sign up, but we're going to rename it to push change to sign up because I don't like running a function that's called onChange to sign up. So we do push change to sign up, and this one we run when we click on the link. So we push change to sign up there, and now let's go over here, and if we click sign up, it takes us to the sign up component. So sign up is actually very similar to login. So we can actually grab the login component in its entirety and replace sign up here. And I'm just going to rename this obviously to sign up, and I change this one here to sign up as well. And then for this one here, instead of or sign up, we're going to call this one or login. And this one's going to be or login here. And then instead of push change to sign up, or actually just grab change to sign up there. And instead of change to sign up, it's going to be change to login. So we have push change to login, change to login here, and push change to login there as well. And now this one's called sign up. So this is our sign up component. And instead of a login button, this one's going to be called sign up button. Sign up button like that, and instead of a login button up here, sign up button here, and move that down there. So now we have this component here. I don't know if it works, but let's just first have a look, see how it looks. So you see we have email and password still, but for the sign up component, we're actually going to make it a little bit more complicated. So we have email here and we have password, but let's duplicate password and turn this one to confirm password. So we have obviously password, confirm password, pretty standard practice here, and we're going to make this one a confirm password like so. So now we have email, password, and on here for the sign up screen, we also have confirm password. But in order to actually sign up, you have to make sure that the form is reasonably well filled out. In other words, the password and confirm password are equal in value, that sort of thing. So what we're going to do is for the sign up button to work, we're actually also going to disable it if it is not valid. So if the form is not valid, and we're going to determine that through our use form up here. So inside of use form here, we're going to add in mode is going to be on change, and we're going to add in is valid here like so. So now that we have that, we're also going to add in something called a validation schema. So we're going to add validation schema here, and React Hook Form uses a validation library called YUP, so YUP. We do const validation schema here is equal to yup.object.shape like so. And we do email yup.string.required. So it's a required string here like so. Password is yup.string.required.test. So we're actually going to add in a custom test here, same as confirm password. You don't have to call it this, but this is what I decided upon. $path there like that. I don't know what this is, but it works. So it is not the same as the confirmation password like that. And then we're going to take in a function, and this function is going to do return this.parent.password triple equals this.parent.confirm password. So basically this checks if it is valid, right? And the only way it can be valid is if the password matches confirm password. And they both can't be empty because we did .required on the password here. So now that we have this validation schema, we have to include yup. So we're just going to go up here to import all as yup from yup, and that should get us installing that. Cool. So now we have that, and we have validation schema here. Let's save that and see how this works. Great, so now that that's built, let's go to sign up here, and the button you'll see is disabled. If I type in an email like asdf@gmail.com, and for the password, say I type 1234, and this one I type 1234, and then it's valid. If I type 5, then it becomes invalid again. Type 5 here, it's valid again. So our sign up form in terms of the front end seems to be working just fine, but in terms of the handle submit, we obviously need to change that part here. So what we're going to add is change this one here firstly to a create user. So create user here, and then instead of this mutation, we're going to change this one slightly. So we're going to take create user, and all that we need it to return is an ID. So we actually don't really care about the return value here, but we're just going to return just an ID here because IDs are nice. And we have the email and password coming in, and then go down here. And we're going to do await create user, and we don't need any of the data kind of coming back. So we can just do variables email password, maybe put on the same line like that. And then instead of doing a dispatch, let's first do a reset. So we're going to reset the form real quick inside of reset from here. And then we're going to push change to log in. So we don't need to set the session or anything fancy. We just need to take them back to the login page. We don't need dispatch anymore. And as such, we don't need set session. And we also don't need use dispatch here. So let's get rid of those. Hopefully it should still be working just fine. So now let's sign up with test3@example.com. And the password is obviously password again. Password like so. Click sign up. And it should take us back to the login page, which it hasn't. A little bit disappointed. But let's first see if it has added it into the database, which it has, which is very nice. So that's very, very cool of it. And the reason it's not taking us back is because our onChange to login and pushChange to login hasn't been set up. So here we've got onChange to sign up. We just need to do similar thing for onChange to login. So we do this, and then set is signing up is going to be false. So then it takes us back to login. So now here, let's click sign up. Let's do test4@example.com. Password and password. Click sign up. Takes us back to this screen here, and we do test4@example.com and then password, and now we can log in. So now